So here's another method for creating a set of parallel lines given a line to start with and a point. And so this is called the rhombus method, and it's called the rhombus method because a rhombus is an equilateral, meaning all sides are congruent, parallelogram. And a parallelogram is a quadrilateral, four-sided figure whose opposite sides are parallel. So therefore, I'm going to give a quick diagram here, right? If I've got a line and a point, if I can create a figure and all four sides of that figure are the same length, that means that the opposite sides of that figure will also be parallel. And so, therefore, the line that passes through this side will also be parallel to my original side. So that's kind of what we're shooting for here. So step one was to construct point B somewhere on line L and connect B to P. And I put that as a dashed line because that's not going to be the actual line that I want. The actual line I want is going to come through here. So I'm just putting that on there as sort of a helper piece. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on this last diagram. So B can really go anywhere in here. It doesn't matter exactly where it goes. I'm just placing it on there. And then I'm using my straight edge to connect those 2 points. All right, the next thing I want to do then is make an arc from point B. So starting here through point P and line L. So I set my compass now to go from point B up exactly to the middle of point P, and then I'm going to have that arc come down through my line. And that creates this new point down here that I can call C. Now here's the key thing. You may want at this point set your compass to be this distance, but that is not correct. I've got to keep the same distance that I use from here to here and from here to here because we're trying to make a quadrilateral four-sided figure where all the sides are the same. So keeping that exact same setting, I'm now going to make arcs from here and from here to create this point D out in the middle. So from point P, I can make an arc, and from point C, it's the same arc. And again, that's the same compass setting that I used here. So if I were to continue that all the way through, I would see that would not connect to point C. This creates point D. And really, I could connect those segments, but the only line that I really care about is the one that's parallel to my original one. So that's line PD, because it passes through those 2 points. And I can say that line PD is parallel to my original line L. And again, if you want to show some parallel marks on there, you certainly can. And if you wanted to, for your own interest, show that that is in fact going to be all of these sides congruent to each other, you could add in that other dashed line, though it's not required.